you watch enough police procedurals, you'd think law enforcement runs on a single, omniscient database, a grid that instantly tracks a suspect's history from a parking ticket in Florida to a warrant in Seattle. But step inside a real precinct, and that seamless digital grid vanishes. The software running local police stations and federal agencies is actually a highly fractured landscape of entirely disconnected systems. Instead of a unified network, the ecosystem is split into separate kingdoms. There's the computer-aided dispatch, or CAD, used to log 911 calls. Then there's the records management system, the RMS, where officers file reports. Add in evidence tracking, county jails, local courts, state databases, and federal systems. These 7 platforms operate entirely on their own. They refuse to share information or communicate with one another. When software sits in isolation, the real-world consequences pile up rapidly. Investigations stall because detectives can't pull relevant case files from the next county over. Physical evidence loses its chain of custody in the digital gaps, and vital context about a suspect simply drops before it ever reaches a prosecutor. To see how inefficient this gets, let's track one piece of suspect data through a routine arrest. It starts with a 911 dispatcher taking an emergency call and typing the suspect's physical description into their computer-aided dispatch system. Because that CAD system doesn't talk to the police department's network, the responding officer has to sit down and manually retype that exact same description into their own records management system. When that officer drives the suspect to the county jail, the digital trail stops cold. The jail software cannot read the police department's RMS file, so the officer literally prints the report onto physical paper. At the booking desk, a different officer takes that stock of paper and manually retypes the information a third time into the jail's proprietary management software. Since the software platforms cannot connect, the justice system relies on human beings to act as the manual bridges between digital silos. Every manual transfer burns time and introduces another chance for human error. 3 specific technical barriers keep these silos locked down. The first is a lack of universal data standards. Different justice systems format their most basic information in completely different ways. If a police department records a birthday by month and the state database by day, merging them corrupts the data. The second barrier is missing APIs, digital bridges allowing applications to pass data. Legacy platforms are self-contained fortresses, lacking APIs by design to receive outside data. The third barrier is a matter of business, not technology, proprietary integration issues. Custom building an API bridge between 2 competing software fortresses is expensive, and the vendors selling these systems have zero financial incentive to spend their own money helping their software play nicely with a competitor's product. These systems are isolated on purpose. Outdated technical architecture keeps the doors locked, and profit-driven vendor lock-in ensures they stay that way. If you open your phone right now, you can instantly sync a New York bank account with a California budgeting app. Private sector apps exchange data, yet the systems we rely on to manage public safety still operate as isolated, non-communicative kingdoms. Without common data standards or API bridges, they are physically incapable of sharing basic intelligence. And as long as software vendors protect their proprietary boundaries, police departments are forced to waste thousands of hours acting as manual data entry clerks. The technology to fix this isn't science fiction. It's already running the rest of the modern internet. The code is there. The real barrier is figuring out who has the authority to force these software companies to finally connect.